Chris Spiker here.
I'm Aaron Goldstein. We are here with our second guest, Josh Mann from Waste Management.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Chris.
Happy Saturday.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a beautiful weekend here in the Antelope Valley.
Waste Management, very important member of the community, important citizen, and a very strong Chamber of Commerce member. Thank you very much.
Oh, always happy to support the chamber. It's kind of part of our business is to give back to those great community organizations that are stepping up and making the Antelope Valley a great place to live. And Lancaster Chamber of Commerce has done that for a lot of years.
So when I called you to be on the show, what were the first things you thought, oh boy, this is what I want to talk about today?
With you, it's probably 60 minutes expose, like Mike Wallace, the tough questions.
No tough questions, and not an expose. But I will say that I had placed a large piece of furniture out behind the flower shop, and I was going to break it down and work it into the trash can. And one day, it just disappeared, and I thought, wow, that was nice. That was really nice.
Really between our efforts and working with the cities, we're doing our best to try and tackle the illegal dumping that's going on in the communities. It's really sad, actually, that people take so little pride in where they live or where they do business, and they just discard material all over the place. But we're doing our best to collect what we can and support the cities in their collection efforts to try and keep our streets and open spaces nice and tidy.
Waste management is picking up a lot. The county and the cities are picking up more than their share. And even there's some vigilantes out that are picking trash up.
Yeah, we're actually working with a great community group out in Lake LA and getting ready to start another one with Little Rock. And they are really proactively going out there, scouting the areas for abatement, and then arranging the volunteers, and literally hundreds of man hours going into pulling the trash out of our deserts. And so we're happy to support that kind of activity.
You know, if private citizens continued to just kind of look around, and if something isn't right or somebody's loitering with a truck full of trash, it's like, let me just take a picture of that car.
Yeah, and in fact, both cities now are asking citizens to step up and report the activity that they do see. If you're out there on a daily basis, working or around the neighborhoods where you live, to report the activity that you see that doesn't quite seem right, like you're talking about.
Recycling, I'm realizing, we've got a green can, and now we're just being educated as to what actually goes in that green can.
Yeah, things have really changed. In the last several years, it was more about getting material into that can than really getting down to the nuts and bolts of what should be in there. And unfortunately, or fortunately, some changes on the world recycling market have really brought us back into focus about let's make sure that we're starting off with the right material in that container. Our analysis has shown that about 25% of what people are putting into their recycling container is actually trash, and so that makes it very, very hard for us to meet the new world standards for cardboard and recycled plastics and metals. And so we got to do a better job of cleaning up that recycling, and it really starts at the curb.
Right. Yeah, that's what we can do, and it keeps our costs down, right?
Correct. So the material that we collect in the truck goes to a processing center, and obviously the dirtier the material is that we start off with, the more manpower and machinery that we've got to throw at it to get it cleaned up. And obviously that has a cost to it, and we would have to pass that along as a cost of our doing business, which would be reflected in customer rates. And so by being more diligent recyclers, we do ourselves a favor, not only in terms of letting material get onto its next best use, but also saving us the cost of that excess disposal and excess sorting that has to be done.
Like, I quit buying those 24 cases of water because I realize I'm paying for a deposit on every little piece of plastic in that package. But there's a huge piece of thick plastic around those 24 bottles, and that is not recyclable.
It is recyclable, just not in your curbside container. So we're asking those folks that, for whatever reason, are maybe still using plastic bags at the grocery store, or in this case, you end up with you've purchased something that comes with plastic wrap. That wrap can actually be recycled, but it needs to go into a receptacle that's specifically designed for plastic bags and plastic wrap. Usually you can find those at your larger big box retailers or grocery store. They have take-back programs that take those back. And that ensures that ultimately it does get recycled, because in a lot of cases it is recyclable plastic, and it's just the best way to do it. Keeps the plastic out of our sorting equipment, which tends to foul things up. So encourage people that if you're still going to acquire plastic bags or plastic wrap, take those back to a plastic bag recycling receptacle.
So there's a way to get rid of plastic bags and
Correct.
plastic wrap. There's a way to get rid of batteries and light bulbs.
Correct, yes. Working with the county and the cities, we have the Antelope Valley Environmental Collection Center. It's located at our facility in Palmdale off of City Ranch Road there on Tierra Sabita. And the first and third Saturdays of the month from 9 until 3, people are welcome to bring their household hazardous waste. People say, well, what is that? Basically, it's those things that you would probably find in your garage. So talking about batteries and paint, compact fluorescent light bulbs, other types of chemicals, used oil and filters, and electronic waste. So all that can be taken for free the first and third Saturdays of the month there. It's a drive-through, so really in and out, but that's the best way to ensure that that stuff does not end up where it doesn't belong.
Yeah. Besides by the side of the road or in your blue trash can, which is not.
Correct, yeah. There's real limitations to what we can place into a landfill. Both of our landfills out here are Class 3 landfills, so just municipal solid waste, just household trash that's benign and doesn't pose a hazard to the environment. And unfortunately, yeah, those chemicals and oil and paint, those really need to be separated out and taken to a facility that can properly ensure that they get disposed of. So.
And my favorite is once a year the county takes back tires.
In fact, the county has really stepped up their game this year, and we'll be doing several more tire events as we get into 2019. Tires have become a huge issue out here in the Antelope Valley, and from that standpoint, while they do place some limitations on the amount of tires that you can bring in any one trip, I have not heard of anybody being turned away. So please, if you have excess tires, use those tire amnesty days to bring those tires in. We don't want those in our trash receptacles or in our desert, so take advantage of that. It's a free program through the county. In fact, if you Google LA County tires, their site should come up and get more
Very
information.
proactive. Those tires do not biodegrade.
No.
They can sit there for 60 years and they're still a mess.
Yeah. So yeah, tires and mattresses is the other one that's come up.
Mattresses.
County has really stepped up their game, as well as City of Lancaster. You can now take mattresses back there at their public works yard.
For free.
For free. We take them at our facilities in both Lancaster and Palmdale. Yes, please. Do not dump those mattresses by the side of the road. Get them to a proper disposal site.
I'm having my 50-year class reunion and I'm driving around, I'm going, oh my gosh, these kids are coming back to the Antelope Valley and there's tires and mattresses.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing, like I said, but at the end of the day, I think that by working together, we're making some progress.
We are.
And hopefully that carries on to a point where we can get our open spaces cleaned back up again and feel some real sense of pride in our neighborhoods.
Because it's a beautiful place.
I love the desert, lived here all my life, born and raised,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things I just wish all my neighbors felt the same way. So.
When I'm out in the backyard and I'm trimming some of my palm trees, they have very sharp spines, just like a Joshua tree spine. Can you put those in the yard trash?
Yeah, so
They're really sharp.
Yeah, so for those that do have palm trees, as well as our native yucca, those unfortunately cannot be composted through our current composting methods. They really need to be put into a trash container. So your green waste container is really for things that easily compost down. So your grass clippings, your tree trimmings, leaves, weeds, stuff that can be
No firewood.
in terms of firewood, as long as it is
Smaller than
Yeah, it's one of those things that you know, equivalent to a tree trimming size. Feel free to go ahead and use that receptacle. Otherwise, if it's large tree trunks, that sort of thing, we will take them at our facilities and chip them up, but you can't put them in your curbside container.
This is good.
Yeah.
You're gonna have me all figured out here before it's over.
Well, and that's really what it comes down to is getting people educated. In fact, I know that Ashley from our team has been on this show. We just hired another wonderful person, Allie, who's out going to be talking to our community groups, neighborhood watch groups, and local residents about recycling and proper disposal. So really getting that knowledge base built up, because at the end of the day, half the time, you know, if you can just reach people with the right information, they will make the right decision. So.
Yeah, it's not that complicated.
No, well, we try and make it easy as possible on customers. We know that they got bigger things to do than worry about their trash. So.
What am I forgetting to ask you, Josh? Talking with Josh Mann, Waste Management.
Not sure. What do you got left?
Summation, Christmas is coming, anything?
Yeah, so the holidays are coming, and we know that trash does accumulate, so please recycle those boxes. If you have excess cardboard boxes, bring them to our facilities. We'll take them back. Or for your Christmas tree, we'll take those live Christmas trees back the first 2 weeks of January. Just put them out curbside with your containers.
Yeah.
Get those Christmas trees onto the next best life. So.
Crush the cardboard. We want
Yes.
it flat. Ashley said flat.
Flatten cardboard, that's it.
Don't just throw it in the can.
You can
Flat.
maximize your recycling capacity.
Because it goes, and then it takes more space wherever it goes after it leaves your house.
Yeah. So recycle often, recycle right. Appreciate you having me on, Chris.
Josh Mann, Waste Management, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being a chamber member.